Here's a smattering of some more words and definitions that you're going to hear when you start getting into tabletop role-playing games. When you're talking about different games that you might play, you might hear the term crunchy be thrown around a lot. Crunchy is basically just a colloquial term that refers to how difficult the game is to learn or how intense the rules are. Kind of like how nitpicky they can be, you know? D&D is considered an incredibly crunchy game because it has rules for everything from your height and your weight all the way over to how far you can jump when you're doing a standing long jump versus a, running long jump. Everything has rules, and I personally really like crunchy systems like that. On the other end of the spectrum, there's games that are considered rules light, which are a lot more narrative than like numbers-based or rules-based, A game that is along these lines might be Monster Hearts, where not everything is determined by dice rolls and rules and things like that. A lot of it is just narratively talking about what happens and then the GM responding. Another term you're going to hear a lot, especially when it comes to crunchy games, is something called a rules lawyer. And a rules lawyer is usually a derogatory term. It basically refers to someone who's so embedded in the rules of a game. Oh, there's me. So embedded in the rules of a game that they have them all memorized, and they're very stringent about the fact that oh, you're supposed to do this when you make this action. Someone who's like, oh, well, you want to interact with this torch in the middle of combat? Technically, you're not allowed to do that because of this rule on this page. The standard, actually sort of vibe. On the other end of the spectrum is what's called the rule of cool, which is basically the term that is thrown around whenever people just kind of hand wave stuff for the sake of it being cool. It's breaking the rules occasionally because the outcome is fun.